it's your boy Belly. Welcome back to the channel, and this is episode number 3 of Twitter Scrolls. And let's get into it, guys. 'Cause I got some crazy stuff to show you. We'll start this one off, man, by taking a look at Japan actually making, well, it's not a real steak, but what they call a steak out of human shit. Yes, it's
They
real.
just
Let's take a
made
look.
meat from your number 2. Japanese scientists have developed a method to create edible steaks from human feces. Unbelievable? Well, it's happening. Mitsuyuki Aikida, a researcher at the Okayama laboratory, collaborated with Tokyo Sewage to address sewage mud excess. They discovered the content in the mud contains high protein due to bacteria, so the team isolated and combined these proteins with a reaction enhancer. Result? Synthetic steak. The meat comprises of 63% protein, 25% carbs, 3% lipids, and 9% minerals. And it's visually enhanced with food coloring for a red hue and improved.
Come on, man. Did that dude actually have shit burger on the plastic? Shit burger. Yo, this whole fucking climate change, this whole Bill Gates, World Economic Forum, eat bugs, all this other weird shit. Like, you got to see where this is going, man. Like, a lot of people don't, like I said, man, people are so uninformed, misinformed. They probably don't even know this is going on until they order a porterhouse at their favorite restaurant and get a shit steak. Because the government done changed regulations. Like, how they passed they can sell the whole cloned and synthetic meat now in stores and restaurants. People were too busy caught up in the submersible submarine that exploded and shit out of the water. Like, man, now they making shit burgers. No thanks.
Coloring for a red hue and improved flavor using soy protein. They just made meat from your number 2.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that shit. You see anything on X, man, I'm telling you. Oh yeah, this woman has 2 transgender kids that both attempted suicide, I believe. Now, God bless, we don't wish that on nobody, you know. My view is to protect kids and protect people in general. So, I can see what's being done here, man. And at some point, we, like I said here, funny how she has 2 transgender kids. We all should acknowledge that progressive Democrats are creating this mental disorder in kids now. Like, that's simply what they're doing. What are the odds that this woman, who's a super progressive leftist Democrat lunatic, has 2 transgender kids that attempted suicide? Like, what are the odds of that, man? Very disturbing, man. Like, prayers for the kids, man. Because, kids come in and they're just little sponges, man. So, and she pushed this ideology on them super hard. Like, and, once somebody pushes a whole bunch of lies on your reality and then you have to end up dealing with reality, it conflicts each other, man. And this causes confusion and it harms these kids more than it helps them. And these people know that. But Democrats are all about creating problems so that they can use them to run on to fix later down the road. They don't care who lives they destroy, who lives are lost, or any of that shit in the process. They just don't care. And this is a true example of that. Let's get into the very disturbing video.
We could stop the conversation there, but let's talk about how it impacts us personally. Again, when I first started writing testimony 2 years ago, I shared that my greatest fear for my 2 transgender children as a parent is the risk of suicide. We've heard about that a lot tonight, and it's real. It's not hypothetical. Since I first wrote those words, it went from being a fear to being a reality. Both of my children have attempted suicide. I have so much more passion I could share with you, but I will stop there. We could stop,
What?
but I will
Then
stop with you.
what's the funny part? Like, what is she laughing about, though? Like, it's a joke at the end. You let people that you represent and share a party with manipulate your kids mentally into this sick cult. Like, it's a reality. Yeah, it's a reality because it's child abuse. It's mental child abuse. And I personally know that mental abuse is way worse than the physical. Because the physical, if something happened to you, get cut, you can heal that. When the mind is damaged It affects who you are, like how you go about your day. It affects everything. It affects who you are as a soul, as an individual artist. If your mind ain't right, you can't even get up out the bed. And they have allowed this type of attack on their kids, and for her to sit here like it's everybody else's fault. No, you allowed your child to be abused, and you contributed to child abuse. Everything that happened to them was on your hands. And this woman is old as hell. Like, she don't understand reality and logic. How are you this old, but you just end up having 2 transgender kids? This is very disturbing, man. Child Protective Services need to take a look into her. Oh, and here we got my boy, Self-Made Slave right down here. Yo, how embarrassing is this type of shit in 2023? Like, they just getting a laugh out of this. Look how serious this dude is. Something hanging from his mouth. Come on, bro. Are black people this depressed and this enslaved that you have to do some shit like this at a place like this? And look at my man back here in the suit. See, this is a perfect example right here, this picture, of a Democrat right here and a conservative. Straight up. This is like the perfect example. I'm glad this played out there, man. And my man right here. Like, come on, man. 2 different worlds. This is what Democrats want you to believe right here. This is how they want you to act. This is the reality of the world and the decisions that we make for ourselves right here. Like, this shit is in. Yo, we're individuals. Black people are not a collective. No ethnicity of people deals with all of them. So I don't have to deal or take account for nothing this man is doing, and I still get secondhand embarrassment from this shit. Like, what the hell, man? This is insane, though, man. How can we allow people to just be out here still acting like this? This is like, you gotta have like no type of self-awareness or not even care to even be doing shit like this. Snot and shit coming from his nose. Nasty work. See what else we got. Oh yeah,
have air conditioning.
And this is what gets me, that I see a lot of these days with this whole feminist thing, man. Like, the feminist movement really disgusts me, because women have fought so hard just to get where they are, and you know, they're allowed now. Well, I'm not even gonna say allowed, because they put in their work. Except for now, these days, most of these women that's hired in government, these positions of power, are straight diversity hires. They're not qualified. Older generations, they put in the work. They actually put in the work. But these days, we got a whole bunch of diversity hires, and women just don't respect men. Like, the least you should have for a man is respect. Not the ones, personally, just doing BS all the time. I'm talking about men in general. A man, what it represents. Because women have lived in this bubble of just not having to really do shit other than get them a career, get some money, have some kids, help raise some kids. This infrastructure of the world is put on the back of men. So much to the point to where a lot of the little shit in women's lives, like the water, sewage, plumbing, construction or oil drilling that allows them to drive their cars and vacation and shit. Just everything, man. Or jobs that men do that are overlooked. Because now they're seen as just a normal part of society. This is supposed to be like this. Somebody has to do this. But they forget that it's men doing it. But I'm going to let my man right here give y'all a real schooling on that.
Are you systematically oppressed while your sewers are taken care of for you, while you have air conditioning, while you live in modernity and all modern technology, and every dangerous fucking job on planet Earth is done by men?
You're doing that, that's your job, and then we've got our own job. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, you do. You have a job, but your job is clearly far less valuable than our job, because without us maintaining the entirety of the infrastructure for which women's pampered asses can even exist inside of society, they would collapse. And how do I know this? Because I have 2,200 years of history to look at.
Facts, man. Facts. And I'm not taking nothing away from women's job of creating life, because that's huge. But the harder parts of the infrastructure, which keep women and babies safe and allow it to be, you know, that. Allow it to be these things that women can just do, without having to do all this other stuff. That's infrastructure that men create, men put on their back. And without men, you couldn't make a baby anyway.
To watch the progression of them literally folding like cheap chairs and being passed between enemy armies like it was nothing. They were literally chattel if we decided that they were, and instead we have massive amounts of technological advancements which have allowed for women to even exist in modernity, and instead of being praised for it, men are treated like absolute garbage.
Facts, man. Preach. Now you got women saying that they could be a man, they could do what men do. Then why don't they go do the jobs that put your life on the line every day on top of that? And health, like a lot of just infrastructure jobs in general. Like when I worked for Unistress, I helped build the new Yankee baseball stadium. I helped build the Tappan Zee Bridge in New York. Like, an introduction to that job was the high possibility of getting cancer through concrete work and all this other stuff. And we were out in rain. That thunderstorm, this lightning, we working power drills in the rain. You got to worry about cords, people getting electrocuted, building concrete pieces from the inside out. Never seen a woman on that job. And I'm not saying that it's not no women that don't work hard jobs and that don't want to do hard jobs, but I'm saying the majority of that is for the men. Women know them jobs are hard. That's why they choose different career paths. Because they know that those jobs are hard and they'll leave it to the men all day. They just want to be men in the areas where it don't really matter. Like in the media, on social media. When it comes to dating women. Little shit like that. But when it comes down to the real meat of being a man and the shit we're expected to do, they just don't want no parts. Crazy how that works. But like I said, I got respect for men and women. We both got our jobs that we do to contribute to humanity and society in the world. And we should leave it at that, man. But men definitely deserve a lot more respect than we get now. And we can't even give opinions without being called, misogynist or sexist or all this other weird shit. Like, get over it, man. Men need women. Women need men. That's it. That's all. Yeah, it gets crazy out here, man. Just like, oh yeah, another butt breaking. My boy Tyrese. Everybody else got on suits. He had to be the one show up in the dress, didn't he? You start going broke in Hollywood, boy. They'd do anything for a check. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Well, that was my X scroll number 3. I have more to show you guys later. Let me get ready to get my butt to work. Y'all seen it like I seen it, man. Take care.